Hello everybody, today I'm going to go through all of the Star Wars movies, ranking them from 11th to 1st place. But first, I want to reveal my somewhat obvious email address for this channel, which is braincommander@gmail.com. No caps, no spaces. Also, yesterday I said my channel was called Into the Unknown 51, but it is actually just Breen Commander. I am still kind of learning how to do this, so please continue to be patient with me. Alright, now let's go down the list. Coming in 11th, or last place, is Solo, a Star Wars story. This is the only Star Wars movie that I do not own. This is because, to me, Solo, a Star Wars story was not Star Wars. I feel like Solo is a deal breaker for me and tells me that I should not expect much from any future Disney Star Wars movies. So when it comes to the film's plot, I feel like I was watching a poorly acted, quickly written Pirates of the Caribbean in space. I'm glad that Disney received so much less at the box office this time around because the quality is definitely going downhill, and they need to know that. Once again, in this case I'm referring to Rogue One, which I actually really enjoyed. We did not receive, once again, we were deprived of the classic opening word crawl. That disappointed me right away and was all I could think about for a long time, however. I persevered and tried to like it. I really did. But in the end, the characters meant little to me. Most of them die off pretty quickly anyways. The ones that are left remain on screen to annoy the audience as much as possible. L3 stands out as the absolute worst Star Wars character in Star Wars history, even more so annoying than Jar Jar Binks himself. Yeah, that's right. Lando's infatuation for this robot companion puts him in a similarly annoying position. Kira is on her own side, Han's side, Darth Maul's side, and Raiden Vosa's side all at the same time, and even by the end of the film, we really don't understand why. By the way, that Darth Maul scene woke me up at the end and then the credits rolled. I'm just sitting there like, okay then, I'm not going to try watching this again. So, and then Chewbacca was just there. Finally, last but not least, Han Solo was not Harrison Ford. He just was not Han Solo. Actually, I don't even like the good guys in most movies. I'm a huge bad guy fan, as you'll begin to notice, and yet I couldn't really like any single character in the Solo movie. So, yeah, it just wasn't my cup of tea. Oh, whoops. There goes the camera. Actually, let's see, what's up next? In 10th place is Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Although I only enjoy about 5% of this movie, I own it for the following scenes. The pod race, Darth Maul, the first scenes on the Trade Federation control ship, and the battle scenes in general. As for the story, not much can be done at this point, but a good old-fashioned fan edit. And here we have Episode 1. Whoops, wrong way. Here's Episode 1. Yep, that's Anakin, the guy that said yippee. And moving on to Star Wars The Force Awakens, which is in 9th place. So for me, I love the First Order scenes, which are a bit scarce, and was bored with the good guy scenes. All of the battle scenes are great, and that pretty much sums up my feelings for this film. In 8th place, we have Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. Once again, I love all the bad guy scenes. However, Jabba is just not my thing. The Imperial scenes are flawless, and the fight between Luke, the Emperor, and Vader are amazing. But somehow, we still ended up with Ewoks, cheesy good guy dialogue, a giant ugly space slug named Jabba, and the barely audible last words of the legendary Master Yoda. Now, at 7th place, we have A New Hope, a classic, the original Star Wars, in 7th place, only because of what I have seen after the release of this film. With some cheesy dialogue and a now cliché story, A New Hope still holds some of the magic, as it has aged extremely well and has a signature true Star Wars feel. In sixth place is Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. And I can tell you 5 good things about Episode 5: Yoda, Boba Fett, the Empire, Darth Vader, and Hoth. Now, in fifth place is the animated Clone Wars film from 2008. I own the complete Clone Wars series and Star Wars Rebels, and still place this movie in fifth place because I have seen how much better the show did story-wise. Don't get me wrong, I love this movie. I grew up with it. Anything Clone Wars is just so good, and is as good as gold to me. By the way, I cannot wait for the new season of Clone Wars in 2019. Hopefully that's just as good as the TV series was. Next up in fourth place is Episode 8, The Last Jedi. I understand how people must feel seeing Star Wars, the Star Wars hero Luke Skywalker die questionably at the end of this movie. I, too, feel this deep loss every time one of my favorite villains dies or bursts into flames, is eaten by a Sarlacc, decapitated by a Jedi Master, or is ultimately defeated. But in this case, I felt a lot of emotion when, out of nowhere, Snoke is no more. Do I believe he is still alive somewhere? Of course I do, because I still hold on to that glimmer of hope that the most awesome, powerful being in Star Wars played a trick on everyone. I think everybody kind of feels the same way about Luke, because he seemed kind of depressed and alone and different than the Luke you all know. So hopefully we're both right. Hopefully they're both back. And, oh my gosh, I love Snoke. Snoke is so awesome. I know a lot of people don't care, but you know what? I do. So, aside from Luke's hissy fits, a pointless excursion to a weird casino, and more stupid Finn scenes, and his counterpart Rose, the rest of the film blew me away and really took me to a galaxy far, far away. I was the most immersed fan in the entire theater. I think anyways. Okay, next up is Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, in third place. Now, before you blow your top and click another video, consider for a moment that George Lucas was trying to redeem himself after that horrible Episode 1. And then, over here, at Episode 2, he really wanted to fix it with the next 2. I feel like the other 2 prequels are severely overlooked. The mystery, action, the overall Star Wars feel took me to a whole new level of Star Wars. Okay, there were some useless love scenes, minor dialogue flaws. I mean, come on. Did anyone pay attention to the most awesome parts of the movie? Jango Fett is incredible. His fight scenes blew my mind. The visual effects in general are way ahead of their time. And the story behind Count Dooku and the clones, I really enjoyed it. They sent a chill up a fan's spine. A good one, though. Alright. In second place, we have Rogue One. Now, let me see. Rogue One, this is a truly wonderful movie that invokes the spirit of Star Wars. This movie means a lot to me. It really remains loyal to the Universal storyline, blows me away with the greatest Darth Vader scene of all time. Oh, and by the way, that was just a last-minute addition to this film, just so you know. Just go watch it for yourself. Go, now, go watch it. Even me, the dude who normally just can't stand the good guys, actually didn't have too much of a problem with them. Of course, Darth Vader's castle is going to be in my mind while I watch random characters like Jyn and Cassian and the rest of them. But still, none of the characters annoyed me that much. Finally, in first place, dun, 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 Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. By far, this is the best, most incredible, jaw-dropping movie I've ever seen. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. George Lucas redeemed himself sevenfold with this film. Everything is absolutely perfect. The story, the sound effects, visual effects, acting, you name it. This movie has zero flaw. I can think of a single scene, actor, or effect that I would change. I wouldn't change a single thing. From General Grievous to the Battle of Mustafar, everything in this movie, awesome. Alright guys, that is the end of the video, and my list to all the Star Wars movies ranked 11th to 1st place. Stay tuned for more cool videos on random stuff, and expect a video detailing a ranked list of Planet of the Apes and Indiana Jones videos sometimes later this month. I am the Breen Commander. Subscribe because I asked. Hit the little bell so you know when I'm actually doing something, and like the video even if you didn't really like it. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time right here on my channel, Breen Commander.